Okay, I'm going to give a couple of slides quickly to describe what trades are. I'm going to do a demo because I think it's best demo. I'm not going to go into a massive amount of detail of all the ins and outs of it, as it were, or all the traits of trades, and all the different object-oriented concepts that it involves. But I'm going to do a quick run through that hopefully inspire you to really use them, see how to use them easily and quickly. I've found myself using them in the last few months, which is why I've thought to do this talk. And I found it really, really happy. So, trying to look up a description of what a trade was, and the PHP website makes it sound horrendously complicated, as does most other websites about PHP. So I found Wikipedia describes it best. A trade represents a collection of methods that can be used to extend the functionality of a class. This concept of a trade exists in loads of programming languages, specifically languages that are what are called single hierarchy, I think is the term, where you can only one class can only extend one other class. So consequently, if you want to get lots of functionality in there, you end up with a big tree of this extends this, extends this, extends this, as opposed to multi-hierarchy programming languages where you can extend, say, 6 classes from the one. PHP and lots of other languages, like Perl uses it, maybe Ruby has it, but calls it something else. They use this concept of trades to get around that and bring extra functionality in. It's all complicated in them, but what they do, whatever's in a trade is basically like a class, like a set of methods or properties. Whatever's in there becomes seamlessly part of the class that uses it. So it literally takes any functionality in that trade and copies it straight into the class that is using the trade. So consequently, it reduces duplicate code. You can take out common bits of code, built in the trade, and just use the trade over and over again, rather than copying and pasting the code around. So you can produce more extendable applications. Where can you use them? Obviously you need PHP greater than 5.4, hopefully everybody's on that already. If you don't, bad luck. Any object can be extended, so you need it in any class, you don't need a specific framework or anything else. You can go and read php.net/traits, goes into it in a lot more detail than I'm going to, and gives some examples which for some reason are very complicated, so I didn't use them. So a quick demo. There's a lightning talk, so I'm going super fast. I didn't have a PHP store with it, so we'll probably have to wait for my massively underpowered laptop. I'm using the PHPBelfast framework here, just because it's a handy thing to have and it has some stuff to work with. So before I get started on using it in a sort of an almost real world scenario, I'm just going to show a quick example of what it is. So I'm going to create a new file, what a trade is. Right? So I create a new file called trades.php. And we're going to create a couple of classes. Say we have a class car that has an owner of Andy, and then maybe we've got a class house that maybe has an owner of 10, or maybe I'll just put my privates in now. There's an accidental pun. So those are two seemingly unrelated classes, but they do have one common feature, of they both have an owner, which you would call potentially a trade. So just to give an example here, I'm going to be car equals new car, and car nice, nice. So there may be a lot more to getting the owner than just dumping out the property. So you might have a function under car called getOwner that in this instance is just going to return over this car owner. So you can then do car getOwner. Great. So if we were going to do this in house, the normal thing you do, believe it or not, is this. And people do it in models all the time. And they see it quite a lot. And okay, that's a very simple bit of functionality. But that getting of an owner although those are two very different objects, there's a good chance in your application that an owner is still just an owner, and the functionality to get that owner or to work with that owner is exactly the same. So let me just to show this working. Do the house. Hopefully, if anyone hasn't spotted any mistakes, please tell me now. PHP, trace to PHP, and we should get. So we're talking about the car owner is Andy and the house owner is Tim. So, well, how do we use a trait? Well, what we can do is we can use a trait. I like to use like an adjective for a trait. It sort of describes what functionality or what extra feature that class has. So in this case, we call it owned because it's the thing. The object has an owner, so it's owned. And we can just move this up in here. Oh. Then we use traits, and it's not the same as using a class. If you put use at the top of the file, that is bringing in a namespace, bringing an object within a namespace. This is literally just using that trait, and what it does then is copies everything out of that trait into that class. So, use owned again. Use this keyword. So we should find, if we run that again, we get exactly the same out. And we've taken the duplicated functionality out of those two classes and put it into one trait. So we can put that trait on any number of classes, as long as you have an owner, it'll return it. So slightly more real world example. I have the PHPBelfast framework running here. Hopefully I'm just going to use PHP to serve it up. So local 2000. And I've added events here, which I don't think was there the last time. I noticed Tim had it, so he must have pulled this out last week a bit. But I've added events, which is exactly the same as posts. So I just wanted to have two different things. It does have one difference in that it has a start time field, which just give it another field really that's a bit different than the posts one. And what I'm going to show is how you can use this in a model. The other thing I added actually was an author. So you see here there's an author underneath the title, and that's a relationship. So I'm going to show in my eloquent model how we can use traits just to take that functionality out of each individual model. And maybe you guys have never done this, but I'm always, there's the example there of the author, and I might have, you might have that might be a user ID or it might be something else. But I found myself out of a big Laravel project, I've got a lot of models going on, I just put that in each model. I never think to take it out, but every time it's the same, it's just a relationship on the same field, and if you use standard database fields, it doesn't need any customization for each model. So we can do that first, I guess. Let's create a trait for that offer. So again, we'll just do it properly, so namespace. So namespace traits, a new class, we'll call it it's the author. So a common naming convention people have is to say able, so authorable, and that would mean that has an author. And you see this a lot with traits, it's just a common thing people use, common way to describe it. So it's got namespace PHPBelfast traits, and it's a trait. That's fine. Okay, so we've got our authorable trait. So if we go back to our event, you can literally just copy that over. In there. And the trait is standalone. It doesn't need to really know what this belongs to when it uses the term $list. It's actually just a $list on whatever class it's using. So it doesn't need to, you don't really need to worry about what that is in there per se. We can just go to our event now and use authorable. We go to our posts and I can use authorable. And just make sure when we do this that it's important to look here. Sometimes PHP Store, you think it has it, hasn't. So reload, and you see it's still working. The author is still coming out. That relationship is still in place, but we've taken that stuff out of our models. We've made our post model back to almost nothing. So I wanted to give one more example. I'm sure how our time is going here, which would be okay. It's a slightly more extensive example, and this is one of the first traits I wrote actually. But it was to get a slug, and quite often, for those who don't know what a slug is, quite often when you've got a URL for something, you'd want to have sort of URL or SEO friendly version of the title. So, in that case, it would be, trust me to pick such a long one, you get a nice little lowercase, any punctuations pulled out of it, a string. So I'm going to create a trait that we can stick into any object that'll get us a slug. So let's do that. Very, very easy. I start these things by just creating the functionality I want first. So in the first instance, let's just do public function get slug. We are going to say, let's use the title. Because we're using Eloquent in this project, we're lucky enough to have the Lumion support class in, which comes in as part of that as a dependency. And that is a very handy function called string slug. See the slug, right? But so we can just do string slug, return string slug dot 11. I'm not going to attempt in the short time I have to hook up the slug to the routing system and all the rest of it. So I'm just going to go around to my posts index and I'm just going to dump out the slug underneath the title. So post get slug my view. So we should be able to now in theory. Oh,
you need to choose URL.
yeah. Need to go back to posts as well. Yeah, posts. There you go. So there's our slug. Very easy. So, let's make this a trait first then. So let's pull that out of there. Let's go back over here. New class. Call it slug. It's a trait. So I apologise if any of you guys already know all this stuff, but sometimes it's good to see things working anyway, so you might get an idea. You might have known about traits. I knew about the traits, but never used them. And once I started using them, I found it hard to live without them, to be honest. Maybe I used them too much. So you can now in my post just comma sluggable. So didn't import that. There we go. Check. Yeah. So it should be still good. Yeah. Our slug come out. So let's just pull that over to our event as well. And if we go to our events view, we'll do exactly the same thing. We'll just do event dot get slug. Now I'm not going to leave it just there because that's too easy. See. Yeah, you've got to make sure that it imports those classes for you, so each we store them manually and we hotkey and do that for you, so there's a bit of time. So our stucking's working on our events and our posts now. Well, what would happen if, say for example, in the event, we didn't actually want it to be the title, or the field didn't have a title, or the model didn't have a title? We need to specify something else. So what we can do is we can specify a value, say, just call it sluggable again, and say we're going to be using this one the start time. Not a great example because it's a date time object, but we'll show something different. If we go into our sluggable, then we can say, well, instead of this value just getting the title, why don't we create a function here and call get sluggable value. And then we can do a bit more work down here. So we're leaving that slug alone, and we can just do a bit more work on how we're going to get our value. And we call that property sluggable, so we can just check if it properly exists in this object. Sluggable. A property called sluggable. Then we want to get that field type and get that the value of that field from the model. So let's say the attribute we want is $this arrow sluggable. will get the name of the attribute, so that's start time. So we want to get the start time, so we can do we can just return from this because we just want the value of that. Return dot of this arrow dot that. Great. Otherwise, let's just assume we want the title. So if we go back here, events, we now have slugged date. Posts, we're still got our normal slug. Same with the code, very handy. You might think, well, okay, but I want my slugs to have the month, the date, the author, and the title and everything in there, so am I going to have to just not use this trait? Well, no, because you can actually just go, the way the hierarchy works, you can just overload that function that gets that value. So I think I called it private function get sluggable value. And I can here just return, say over this start time, year, month. Let's add, say, the author name to that. So that's year, month, and author as our slug. Let's see if that works. Did that in events, didn't we? There you go. So we now have a little sluggable trait there that we can use. It's very few lines of code, but you can apply that to any class and slug a fee simply by specifying a fee or specifying how to get the value. It's more complex. Very simple. So that's really an example of a trait. Hopefully people understand it a bit better now, or if it was a mystery to you before, you understand it a bit better. There's some ideas that I've come up with, some of these I've used in your projects, but it might just inspire you to try and use them. So those are just some little traits. Some of them I've used, some of them I just made up, some of them I've come across online. But it can maybe give you an idea where you could use your traits on your models or in other classes, just to add some functionality. Okay, that's it.